All right, welcome back. PriceIsKing.com. We're going to be talking about Nvidia. We're going to take a look at it and analyze what's going on and what to look for in the next coming days, weeks. If you're a swing trader or if you're a day trader, intraday traders, I'm not so much going to show you techniques, but on this video, but at least from a swing perspective, you'll have an idea of where things are headed for Nvidia. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on when it comes to announcements on the business side, on the fundamental side, overall how the company is doing. I'm going to be focusing on specifically on the technicals today for this particular stock. I know there's a lot of news going on, news cycle with regards to Nvidia, with all areas of AI and how things are progressing with China, whether it's progressing with Japan. I know, Japanese companies like SoftBank, they're making headwinds because they're using Nvidia to build infrastructure, AI infrastructure within Japan and whatnot, right? So there's a lot of those news cycles out there. They could, make or break any company, right? But when it comes to fundamentals, when it comes to technicals, what is going on? And so that's what I'm going to be diving into the Nvidia stock, right? The symbol is Nvda, obviously. You're looking at the chart right now, which is a daily chart. That daily chart, as you can see, it was on a downtrend for the past few months, and then all of a sudden, boom, went up, right? You see this. Last year it was been down, but then boom, this year's made headwind changes, right? Obviously, there's been, if you've been following fundamentals, there has been a significant impact on the stock price due to that. But from a swing trade perspective, if you're not looking at fundamentals of what is going on, and let's take a look. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in for the past few months so that you have an idea where things stand. Obviously, we already see that it's gone up substantially, but is it going to continue? Right, that's the question. Is this trend going to continue in the next few weeks, next few days? What's going to happen? If you're a short-term swing trader, you want to be able to make a decision whether or not should you go in, or should you buy now, when is a good time. Sometimes people come to me and say, hey, I bought the stock and immediately dropped. Why did that happen, right? And that could be various different reasons, but sometimes when there's a big trend upwards and then people take profit, tend to come down for a few days, right? And then if you end up taking it over here and it goes down, obviously it's going to be a downtrend for a few days before you see the technicals where it's actually being supported, right? So let's take a look at that, right? Like you see all of these mountains, right? What we're looking at right here, and let me move a little bit down so that you could see. We have the Bollinger Bands here. It rode the Bollinger Bands for a few days and then came down. And then what's happening now is the lower Bollinger Band is actually acting as a support along with the 50-day moving average, right? So that's actually being supportive. You got the MACD, and a few days ago it actually crossed, and so that kind of gave us a hint that okay, next few days it may go down, which it did. And that was all profit taking, and you can actually go long right around here. You can see that the mountain, this particular mountain, what I'd like to look at is whether or not the previous low, did it ever catch up on the next round? It didn't, and so that's an indication that during this point right here you want to go long, which occurred right around here. Same thing over here, right? It went short. But then you want to look at this and say, hey, you know what? It did make a bigger mountain than the previous low. But it hasn't gone as far as this much, but it has gone below the previous one. And then there's a smaller candle, and there's a possibility of making a turnaround right here, right? Especially because the RSI, now you see, is on its upward trajectory. Okay, so next thing you want to do is you want to watch for this as being support. It's going to go down, it's going to go up towards the mid band on the Bollinger Band, and let's see where that hits. When you see a resistance being hit, then you know there's going to be some further move downwards. And what you want to do is you want to look for all of these points. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. All of these points are support areas in this area. So if there were to go down, there may be a few days where it rides the lower Bollinger Band, and that's where you want to get in for a long, because obviously if it holds, then it has made a higher low. That will indicate another room for the leg upwards. Okay, so that's what's going on. And then what it's going to do is it's going to try to break the high, which is the 505. That's the next target. It may take a few days, maybe a week, but it will take some time to get there. It's not going to be instantaneous big green candle or big red candle. So just keep in mind that this is where it's happening. You got support here. It's on its way up. There may be one resistant here. These two right here is a resistance, and then if it breaks, next is the upper Bollinger Band, which is at 507, which is going to break the all-time high. All right, let me know what your thoughts are. PriceIsKing.com. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.